President Buhari extends VAIDS deadline. Nigeria Army sets to host African Land Forces Summit. Nigeria's population hits 198 million. NATIP arrests 8 suspected human traffickers. These and many more stories in a moment. I am Cynthia Agbo with the news on television Nigerian. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the extension of the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme to June 30. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina in Abuja, on Wednesday stated that the short extension after the original March 31st date is based on the appeals of professional bodies and individual taxpayers. In addition to the conviction of the Ministry of Finance that the overall objective is to increase compliance will be attained with additional accruals to the government. Buhari had in 2017 inaugurated the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan and the VAIDS tax amnesty as the first in the series of reforms that will transform the country's tax system and provide sustainable, predictable funding for all tiers of government. The Nigerian Army is set to showcase its military might to the largest gathering of African senior military leaders on the continent known as African Land Forces Summit 2018. This was revealed by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, represented by Major General David Amadu, the Chief of Training and Operation at the press briefing on the African Land Forces Summit 2018 at the Army headquarters in Abuja. Our correspondent Austin Peacemaker Inaide has more on the reports.
The Nigerian Army is constantly carrying out training activities and updating its personnel in line with our constitutional role to aid civil authority in combating terrorism and other security challenges confronting the nation. Against this backdrop, the Nigerian Army, in conjunction with the U.S. Army African Command, is set to hold this year's African Land Forces Summit with the theme Unity in Strength, Combating African Security Challenges.
It will provide the Nigerian Army the forum to showcase its capabilities, project its image and military might to the largest gathering of African senior military leaders on the continent. This is in addition to providing a platform for countries to share experiences on global terrorism and other security challenges such as transnational threats and crimes.
The summit will afford military leaders of African countries the opportunity to strengthen existing relationships, develop new ways of tackling security challenges on the continent, and further facilitate cooperation.
Part of activities lined up for the summit include military demonstration exercise that will entail firing of the use of pyrotechnics. The exercise will take place at 176 Guards Battalion, Gwagwalada, commencing with rehearsals on 12th and 14th April 2018, while the grand finale will take place on 17th April 2018.
Participants will be drawn from all armies of African countries, Western partners, as well as representatives from the trade services, the Nigerian police, and the DSS, among others. It is hoped this summit will truly project the pride of the nation's image by showcasing its capabilities. Austin Peacemaker Inaide, TVN News.
A recent statistics from the National Population Commission has put Nigeria's current population at 198 million people, with urban population growing at an average annual growth rate of about 6.5%. While delivering Nigeria's statement on sustainable city, human mobility and international migration at the 51st session of Commission on Population and Development held in New York, Chairman of the Commission, Eze Duro-Hioma, stated that Nigeria remains the most populous country in Africa and the 7th most populous in the world. He further revealed that Nigeria's urban population has grown at an average annual growth rate of more than 6.5% over the last 50 years, without commensurate increase in social amenities and infrastructure. Still ahead, NATIP arrests 8 suspected human traffickers.
Nigerians have tested political parties, religion and age. It is time to get a bridge builder to heal the wounds. Hassan Dan Kwambo. Under your watch as Executive Governor of Gombe State, you have been able to manage the state's resources in view of the numerous projects so far completed and the low statutory federal allocations accruable to the state. With your landmark achievements in healthcare, youth employment, women empowerment, road infrastructure, pipe-borne water, security, education, and agricultural development, we are sure of a better Nigeria. 2019 is not about power or change, but rather it is about Dan Kwambo to replicate his humility and servant leadership. Dan Kwambo, Nigeria. Nigeria, Dan Kwambo.
For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
Thanks for staying tuned. The Benin Zonal Commander of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has arrested 8 suspected human traffickers in the past 3 months. The zonal commander for the agency, Mr. Nduka Owanwene, stated that a total of 138 people were rescued by the agency within the period, and that 124 of the trafficked people were already reunited with their families, while 89 cases of trafficking are currently pending in various courts in the zone. Owanwene further revealed that in spite of the renewed and drastic measures put in place by government and traditional institutions to stop human trafficking, some people were still adamant on doing the business. Moving on to the foreign scene, an Algerian military plane crashed and caught fire on Wednesday, killing 257 people, mostly army personnel and members of their families. An AFP photographer at the scene saw the charred wreckage of the plane in a field near the Buhari air base from where the plane had taken off. Hundreds of ambulances and dozens of fire trucks with their sirens wailing rushed to the scene of the crash, about 25 kilometers, 15 miles southwest of Algiers. The Defense Ministry said in a statement that 247 passengers and 10 crew were killed without mentioning any survivors. Deputy Defense Minister General Ahmed Gaid Salah visited the site and had ordered an investigation into the circumstances of the crash. And in sports, Nigerian Super Falcons will face Gambia in the second round of Ghana 2018 African Women's Cup of Nations qualifiers. In June, the African women football champions were drawn in a first round tie alongside Equatorial Guinea, South Africa and Cameroon. Falcons' opponents, Gambia, lost 2-1 to Burkina Faso in their first leg encounter at Ouagadougou on 7th of April. 2016 AFCON runners-up Cameroon will take on Congo, who defeated Central African Republic 3-1 on aggregate in the first round. The 7 winners of the second round will join host Ghana in the final tournament scheduled for 17th November to 1st December 2018. And now to end the news, a recap of the major stories. President Buhari extends VAIDS deadline. Nigerian Army set to host African Land Forces Summit. Nigeria's population hits 198 million. Native arrest 8 suspected human traffickers. That's the news on the hour on television Nigerian, and do remember that if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. I am Cynthia Agbo. Do have yourself a wonderful night.